Welcome to The Explainer. So, you're looking to migrate to Australia, right? Well, there are 5 absolutely crucial points that you might not even know you're eligible for. Today, we're going to break down the entire roadmap for getting them. We're talking about the NAATI CCL test, from what it is to how it's formatted, and most importantly, the strategies you need to actually pass it.
Okay, let's just focus on this number right here, 5. It doesn't sound like much, does it? But these 5 points awarded by the Department of Home Affairs can literally be the deciding factor for your skilled migration visa. I mean, this could be the very thing that pushes your application over the finish line.
So, what exactly is this test that gets you these points? It's called the Credentialed Community Language Test, or CCL for short. And look, here's the most important thing to get straight from the get-go. This is not a test to become a professional translator. Not at all. It's simply about seeing how well you can communicate, just pass the meaning back and forth between English and another language in totally normal, everyday situations.
All right, let's start with the why you'd even do this test. We're talking about your 5-point migration boost. And it is so important to understand what this credential is for, and maybe even more importantly, what it isn't for. Trust me, getting this clear on your head right now will save you a ton of hassle later on. And this right here, this is probably the most critical distinction to make. Passing the CCL test gives you a credential for one purpose, and one purpose only: migration points. That's it. It does not, I repeat, does not certify you to go out and work as a professional interpreter or a translator. That's a whole different ballgame, a totally separate path. Okay, let's quickly run through the key facts you need to know. First off, the whole thing is online, which is great for flexibility. It'll set you back 814 Aussie dollars. The good news, you don't need any formal training or prerequisites to take it. It's offered in over 50 languages, and if you pass, the result is good for 5 years. It's really designed to be pretty accessible.
Okay, so now let's get into Welcome to The Explainer. So, you're looking to migrate to Australia, right? The nitty-gritty. Let's look inside the test itself. What does it actually feel like on the day? Understanding the structure and the flow is half the battle to feeling prepared.
The whole test has this very specific rhythm. It's like a pattern. You listen to a short bit of audio, maybe around 35 words. Then you'll hear a little chime. And that chime is your cue. The second you hear it, you have to interpret what you just heard into the other language. It's a simple flow. Listen, chime, speak. But don't be fooled. It can be pretty demanding. So the heart of the test is basically you interpreting 2 different conversations, 2 dialogues. Each one is about 300 words long, and it's split, half in English, half in the other language. And the topics are pulled straight from everyday life in Australia. So you could be interpreting a chat about a health issue, or maybe a housing situation, employment stuff, even legal matters.
Now, here's where the pressure really kicks in. You have got to start speaking within 5 seconds of hearing that chime. 5 seconds. Any long pauses, any hesitation, that's where you start to lose points. They're really looking to see if you can keep a conversation flowing.
Okay, so that's the format. But let's get to the most important part, right? How are you actually graded? We need to break down the scoring system, because if you don't know how they score you, you don't know how to practice effectively. So the way they score is pretty interesting. You actually start with a perfect score of 90 points, 45 for each dialogue. From there, the examiners just deduct points for any mistakes you make. So your job isn't to earn points, it's to keep them.
So what do you need to pass? You need a total score of 63 or higher. Simple enough, right? Well, not quite. There's another really important rule you have to follow.
And here's the catch. On top of that total score, you also have to score at least 29 out of 45 on each of the 2 dialogues. You can't just bomb one and ace the other. They want to see that you're consistent across the board. This table here illustrates that point perfectly. Just look at that first row. The person got a total of 63, which sounds like a pass, right? But look at their score for dialogue 1. It's 27. That's below the minimum of 29. So even with a total of 63, it's a fail. You have to meet both conditions. No way around it.
So where do you actually lose marks? Well, it boils down to 3 main things. First is accuracy. Did you add or leave out any important info? Second is language quality, your grammar and using the right level of formality. And third is your delivery, how smoothly you speak. Too many pauses or self-corrections will cost you. All right, so now you know what's in the test and how it's scored. Let's shift gears and talk about the practical stuff. Getting ready for the actual test day. And believe me, your tech setup and your room are just as crucial as your language skills.
Your tech setup is absolutely non-negotiable. You need a laptop or PC with all the basics, camera, mic, speakers. Then you need a second device, like your phone or a tablet to act as a second camera. And of course, you need stable internet. And get this done early. Install Google Chrome and the Proctor Exam app way before your test date. They're super strict about this stuff.
And here is a huge one, so listen up. You are not allowed to use any headsets or earphones. None. You have to use your computer's speakers and microphone. So for goodness sake, please test them out beforehand to make sure they work well.
Okay, so think of this as your final pre-flight checklist. First, find a quiet, private room where you won't be disturbed. Second, clear your desk completely. All you can have is your ID, a pen, and some blank paper. And the most important thing? You have to complete that online system check at least 48 hours before your test. Seriously, don't leave it to the last minute. It's mandatory.
All right, let's move on to the final section, your study playbook. This is how you turn all this information into an actual passing score. This is where the magic happens.
So here are some of the best tips for studying. Number 1, your goal is to transfer the meaning, not translate word for word. That's key. It's a great idea to develop your own shorthand for taking notes. It'll make you so much faster. And if you're weaker in one language, immerse yourself in it. Watch movies, listen to the news. Oh, and remember, you get 1 penalty-free repeat for each dialogue. Use it, but use it wisely.
People always ask, how much should I practice? Well, here's a good target. To just get the hang of it, do about 15 practice dialogues. But if you really want to feel confident and exam ready, you should be aiming for 30 or more. That's how you build up that fluency and confidence.
And this might be the most powerful study tip I can give you. Record yourself. I know, nobody likes listening to their own voice, it's awkward, but it is hands down the best way to analyze your own performance. You'll hear every little hesitation, every awkward phrase, and you'll know exactly where you need to improve.
So there it is. We've laid out the entire roadmap for you. You know why these 5 points matter, what the test involves, and how you can prepare for it. The only question left is, what's the first step you're going to take to secure them?